So, Workabout was back with Justine, and today we're talking with Julia from the Goodnights, one of our employers, just to get an employer's version of how the whole Workabout Australia process works.
Hello, Justine, and hello, Warren. It's great honour. It's nice to be part of your team. Can I say that to start with?
Thank you.
We found you first was at a trade show in Queensland. And having wandering feet ourselves, my husband came back and he said, "You're not going to believe what we found." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Come with me." And we said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to wander around Australia and pick up jobs, and this is the avenue we're going to do it." It was exciting and it was fun to be part of it. So off we went, and as usual, being us, our life went in 10 different directions, and we started doing motel management. Then I decided that there was another avenue because everyone rang me and said, "Julia, how do we get relief managers? How can you do my job?" And we sat down and said, there's a world out there. Let's get in the middle and put A and B together. So this is what we did. And then we thought, how are we going to advertise it? So as fate may jump in at those times, in comes your email. We went, there's the answer. There is the answer. So we got in touch with Justine, who's just been delightful to us. And thank you, Justine. You are the best. Warren, you are too, but Justine's really good. And that came in, and so we sort of said, "How do we do this?" And she shot back and said, "This is what we do." And so bang. So the rest is history. So I think we've been advertising on your site, I think about 5 years. I might be wrong, Justine, but about that. So, and absolutely delighted with everything, and even more delighted to know that now our competitors are advertising on your site. So we must be doing something right. We must be. So
very good.
Us. Yeah.
So, Julia, how have you found the process of actually getting the jobs up and advertising with us?
It's too easy, too small a thing to say. Way too easy. It is just the simplest process. What I do is I put all my jobs together and I shoot them off to Justine, and she puts them on a website. Should we make this more complicated? Because that's how jolly simple it is.
No, we like simple. We like simple.
Well, we like simple too. So the process, again, without being funny, is just very workable, very easy. I've got to have them in by Wednesday night. This I'm well aware of. Usually I miss the deadline. Justine kindly looks after me. But I used to have a sign like, "Get your ads in on Wednesday," and so, but yeah, it's a simple. And if I miss the deadline, I don't want to be a pain in the neck. I wait until next week because I know it's all going to happen next week. So I try not to be a pain in the neck. So yeah, process, Warren, is very easy, very workable.
And then, Julia, tell us about your experience and what it's been like working with our club members. How have you found our club members as employees?
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Why and what I like about them is I can relate to them. While you have such a varied lot of readers, I know my nephew reads your information, but for the people that are attracted to what I need, they're of my generation, and maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, So, and so what they do is they've all got life skills. They're right and ready to try a new adventure. And this is what I'm offering them, is a new adventure, to get out and go and see Australia, travel around, but make a buck as you go. We can get you trained up, learn how to do motel management, go to a job with confidence, and confidence from me too, because I'm very precious about my business. And they go and do the job, they get paid for it, off they go.
And based on our discussion so far, Julia, I think this one's a bit of a rhetorical question, but you would recommend Workabout Australia to other employers?
Do I have to think about that? I asked you earlier. Do I have to tell lies? Of course we'd recommend it. We highly recommend you. We couldn't recommend you more highly. And okay, take the funny side out. We couldn't recommend you more highly.
Excellent.
Your service that you offer is genuine, it's friendly, it's professional, and you're contactable, and to us it is absolutely fantastic, and we wouldn't have the business we've got today without you guys, and I do mean that quite seriously. You're the only place I advertise, and what you can't see behind me is I have a board full of jobs. You're the only place I advertise. You're the only place I get my people through, and that's how it works.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much. Well, that's been very, very informative and very helpful. Thank you very much, and we're very happy that you're so happy with the process. And we look forward to working with you well into the future.
You can't get rid of me. No. Thank you very much, Workabout, and thank you. It's as I said, it's a very, very. It's a niche in the market that you guys have totally and utterly filled.
Well, lovely to catch up with you, Julia. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Warren.
So please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and until next time, keep building that dream life on the road.